This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that love the Lawnmower 3.0, well, I got news for you. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim all through additional guards lengths, sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish, even features a hot foil stamp, black chrome Manscaped logo. Show your more off loud and proud. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of the Lawnmower 4.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Excuse me. Thank you so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast, making the State of the Saints podcast part of your morning, your evening, night, wherever you're checking out this podcast. I really do appreciate it. Before we get started, I want to just ask everybody to give your boy a thumbs up. You know, give me a golden thumbs up if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast. Let's just get the likes up. I really do appreciate those that push for the likes for each video. So before we get started, man, if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast, go ahead and give your boy a thumbs up. But we're going to go ahead and talk. We're going to be talking about Jameis Winston on this edition of the State of the Saints podcast. And, you know, I know a lot of people are excited right now. We're probably about a month away, you know, from the NFL. You know, like it's the final month that we're going to be without football for at least February. So I know everybody's excited about that. I'm not a real big fan of these times, you know, because it seems like there's very little to talk about, and the topics are stuff that we just went over and over again ad nauseum, man, you know, and this is one of those topics, man, that everybody seems to be talking about. And, you know, talking about Jameis Winston's offseason. Jameis Winston has been looking incredible. I mean, he has documented his entire offseason. You know, he has this whole resurrection campaign that he has going, trying to change the narrative of his NFL career. You know, a lot of people, when you hear the name Jameis Winston, you know, a lot of people, you know, think is a joke. They laugh, they make fun of him, and he understands that. But at the same time, this is a guy that has embraced the challenge of changing that narrative. And, you know, when you have different videos that come out like this, the one that just was put out today, it makes you even more excited. Yeah, I mean, that makes you excited, right? You know, seeing him throw those passes and stuff like that. You know, it's extremely excited to see Jameis Winston and really embrace, you know, the quarterback position and really trying to work hard to try to better himself. I mean, he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He looks like he got a lot of zip on the ball. He's developing a camaraderie and a little bit of chemistry with Traquan Smith. And I think that this is going to be beneficial for both guys. You know, Traquan Smith has really been working out and really been a true workout warrior this offseason. Now, I hate to fall into this whole trap, man. You know, we have a tendency of, you know, just believing everything that's right in front of us, and the ones that we don't see, the ones that we don't recognize, you know, those are the people that we feel like aren't putting in the work. Now, Jameis Winston, you know, is proven that he is working pretty hard, but I'm pretty sure guys behind the scenes, even guys like Taysom Hill, are probably working behind the scenes as well, you know, try to better themselves and try to develop some type of chemistry with the quarterbacks. Some guys, you know, they want to keep their workout regimen a secret. Some guys are superstitious like that because they don't want anybody to, you know, try to steal or try to, you know, take away something that they feel like gives them a competitive advantage. Guys are kind of superstitious like that. But, you know, it's interesting to see Jameis Winston, you know, out here doing this thing, and I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Jameis. I'm rooting for Traquan. I'm rooting for all these wide receivers that I've seen out here, and these guys who are probably these bubble players who decide to go out there and work alongside them. I'm rooting for these guys to become better players, stronger players, more physical players. I know I've been watching Saints Twitter as of late. I mean, I'm on Twitter, but not as much as so many other members of the Who Dat Nation on Twitter. Probably just need to start tweeting a little bit more. But, you know, everybody's excited to see those down the field throws, something that a lot of people felt has been missing from the Saints arsenal over the last couple of years. And I mean, we all know, we keep on saying it over and over again, it has a lot to do with Drew Brees. You know, Drew Brees, you know, lack of arm strength towards the twilight of his career really, you know, I don't want to say handicap the Saints, but it prohibited them from doing certain things I feel like they wanted to do offensively. And I don't think it was a coincidence that they decided to make it more of a classroom format for this mini camp that they just had. I just think that the Saints understand that they're going to, you know, have a new quarterback, and they want to make sure that they understand different philosophies, and they want to make sure that these guys are not only good players but students of the game. So looking forward to seeing what Jameis Winston is going to do. Looking forward to seeing an interesting training camp that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. And I don't know, man, maybe I'll be able to get down there since I got my media credentials and see if we can check some of that stuff out, man. But we'll see. But thank y'all so much for being here. Those that are filing into the chat. Once again, if you're just joining us, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get these likes up, man, and let everybody know how much everyone enjoyed the State of the Saints podcast. If you want to do me a favor, if you don't, you know, if you don't donate or anything like that, you just hit that like button. Let everybody know that you're enjoying the show. All right, we're gonna go. Let's start down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna start with Brian. All right. So Brian says, are we ever going to have a team like we had 2009 when we won the Super Bowl? I think they had that team before. That team was in 2018, Brian. That was the best Saints team I ever seen. They definitely should have went to the Super Bowl. I think we all in agreement on that. We know about the controversial 9 call. That was a really good Saints team, and I think that team, in my honest opinion, could have beat the team that was in 09. They were just extremely talented, man. Like on both sides of the football, they had a good chemistry going. So I think they had that before. They just got snubbed and got gypped out of that opportunity, man. And I mean that right there, you know, that's something I don't feel like a Saints fan will ever get over. I don't think I ever get over that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing we can do about it. And yes, you know, we can't go back in time. We're not Martin McFly. We don't have a DeLorean. But man, that right there hurt because we were so close. It should have been us. And you know, you look at the 2009 football team, and they had some lucky breaks, man. Like sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I remember one game they was getting blown out by the Dolphins, and they had a few breaks go their way towards the end of the game. They won that one. They were on their way to get blew out by the Redskins. They were the Redskins at the time, and you know, Robert Meacham rips the ball out the guy's hand, and the next thing you know what I'm saying, like all of a sudden, you know, they going back and forth with them. So, you know, they had a couple of games where some breaks went their way that helped them get to that point. You know, not to mention in an NFC Championship game, Brett Favre rolling to his right, throwing the back across the middle, intercepted by Tracy Porter, which is the cardinal sin that you're not supposed to throw the ball, you know, across your body. You know, so they had a few lucky breaks. I mean, it could have easily have went the way of the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they could have probably kicked a 50-some-odd-yard field goal and won that game. I mean, we seen, Greg Zuerlein did, right? He kicked a 57-yard field goal, if I am mistaken, for the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side too. So I think that the 2019 got a little bit of luck, a couple breaks go their way. And sometimes you need those opportunities, man. You're not going to always just blow teams out the water every single week. And especially in the playoffs, man, sometimes you need those lucky breaks. I know y'all remember like the Seattle Seahawks game, you know what I'm saying, when they played real good defensively. They was out there playing in Minnesota, below zero, freezing, and then Blair Walsh missed the extra point, and Seattle ended up moving on to the next round. Like you seen like in Chicago when the kicker hit the goalpost and missed the field goal, and Philadelphia ended up winning, taking on the Saints in the following week. So, man, sometimes you have to have things go your way if you're going to win something. I mean, think about even with the Chiefs, right? You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs had to have a little lucky break because the Browns was, threatening to beat them, and I think it took Chad Henne a 13-yard scramble. So without that 13-yard scramble, they would have got the ball back on 3rd and 13. And who knows what would have happened. So you need some lucky breaks sometime in order for you to, get over that hump. It's good to be good, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. My entire Saints family, Jerry Poor, Mark says if Winston struggles again with accuracy in preseason or at beginning of the year, I think they may go with Taysom long term. Yeah, they might, man, but I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for a guy to screw up so I can just be proven right. I want both of these guys to succeed. I'm not even if I've been talking since the offseason about Jameis being a starter. Even if Jameis don't end up being a starter, I'm not going to sit up here and be hoping that Taysom go out here and blow it so Jameis can come into the game. I want the guys, I want whoever becomes the starting quarterback to be successful. And I just feel like anybody that's wishing a person to fail, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Mark, but just individuals, because I see a lot of negative energy from some of these Saints fans. It make me wonder, are they really fans? You know what I'm saying? Are you a fan of the team, or you just a fan of wanting to be right? Because in my opinion, man, I want the team to win. I don't look. I love every player on the team. You know what I'm saying? I got respect for them. If somebody goes down, I will hope that guy that comes in behind them can pick up the slack. All right. I'm not hoping and wishing and praying that this guy screws up. I'm even if the Saints decide to have one person start over another that I like, I'm not hoping that guy screws up. If you're hoping for Taysom Hill to screw up so Jameis can become the starter, if the Saints decide to go with Taysom or vice versa with Jameis, then you're missing a big picture. And I'm just wondering to myself, are you really a fan? Are you really a fan? Because that's not what fans do. Fans cheer for the team. They may not like the decisions, but they go with the decisions and they rally behind that person. I think about when the Rams, right, a couple years ago, back when they were the beginning of the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner wasn't supposed to be the starting quarterback. Trent Green was. Trent Green ended up getting hurt in preseason. And Dick Vermeil said that famous quote, we going to rally around Kurt Warner and we going to play good football. And what would have happened if Dick Vermeil didn't believe that? Would we have known Kurt Warner to be who he was? A Hall of Famer, a league MVP, and, the guy that was the orchestrator of the greatest show on turf when it came to the field work. So that's not the way to go. What if Ram fans would have been like, man, I ain't messing about no Kurt Warner? You know what I'm saying? Who would have known what Kurt Warner would have been? So I feel like we need to have that same type of energy when it comes to the Saints. If you don't, then what the hell are you cheering for? TJ Johnson, I'm with that, having Jameis Winston proven he belongs with the Saints as a starter. Well, I'm not TJ Johnson. I'm TJ Jones, Ronald. But I appreciate it, man. I definitely feel like there's a lot of Jameis supporters out there. And, I think that a lot of people are wishing that, that he does well. I hope. We had a chance in 2011 and 2018 to win the Super Bowl. I agree. I still feel like that 2011 team, they had some defensively, they weren't very good. They were just explosive offensively, and I always just feel like, it's just a matter of time before your luck run out. If you're offensively driven and you can't make stops, it's just a matter of time before, the wheels come out, fall off, because eventually you're going to go up against a team in the playoffs that just has just as much firepower offensively as you, or they're really good on defense and they can neutralize you. So what are you going to do then? And if you can't stop them offensively, but they can stop you, then what are you going to do? So that 2011 team to me was a little bit of hit and miss. I think some things would have went their way, because if they would have won that game, I want to say the Giants would have had to go to the NFC Championship game. It would have been the Superdome, because I want to say that the Green Bay Packers were 15-1 and they had the 1 seed, and the Giants beat the Packers. And if we would have beat the 49ers, then the NFC Championship game would have been in New Orleans. So I was upset about that, but hey, you never know. This year is Winston comeback year. I hope so. Look, the way that he's playing, the way he's looking, he ain't playing right now. The way he's looking like he's going to be pretty doggone good. Because a couple of passes that I'm seeing him throw, they really, there's some real tight spirals, and he always had like incredible arm strength. But just some of those out routes that Traquan is running, those deep out routes and deep posts. I mean, he's dropping dimes. Like, all Traquan basically have to do is put his hands up like this, and the ball is like right there. So, but at the same time, we have to understand these are highlights, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always skeptical about, judging somebody based on highlights, because they're called highlights. Okay. I've watched Jameis Winston throughout his whole, whole time in college and in the pros. So, I know he has like great arm strength, arm talent. And, but, you never know when it comes to the highlights, right? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to put the ball sailing over a wide receiver head, or they're not going to, show a quarterback throwing a ball and the ball skipping to the wide receiver or something like that, or wide receiver running the wrong route, or running back like tripping over, like, like one of the dummies or something like that. You don't see that type of stuff. You just see highlights. You see guys working hard, grinding, and getting you all excited. Probably put some music behind it, and that's cool. But look, I want to see what happened in real time when you're going up against an opponent. That's when I get excited. Rather that's Jameis, rather that's Traquan, rather that's Marquez, Deontay Harris, Michael Thomas, whoever. I want to see how is this going to translate to the field. Jeremiah said, "What up, TJ? How you doing? What do you think about Jameis Winston's throws that ball to Traquan Smith? He just like a former quarterback of our team, Aaron Brooks, threw deep balls for 73 yards in 2002. If he's going to do the deep ball for passing yards catch on the field in 2021, correct me if I'm wrong." Nah, man, I don't see Aaron Brooks when I look at Jameis Winston. I mean, Aaron Brooks had like, man, he just was a hard thrower, man. He had like a John Elway type dart, you know what I'm saying? Like John Elway can just fit it, you know what I'm saying? Like, had them tight spirals. But Aaron Brooks' accuracy like came and went. And when he was on, he was on. And when he was off, oh my goodness, was he off? Jameis just makes bad decisions. Like, it's like he has the arm strength. He has the ability to make every throw. It's just the decision making that throws off Jameis. Aaron, I don't. Sometimes I didn't know if he knew what the hell he was doing or not. I'm just being real. Like, sometimes, like, he'll go out there and he'll look like a deer in headlights, or I don't know if he just, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he just had a bad night, or he maybe read some bad press clippings and it got to him. I don't know what was going on. But I don't see any similarities in those two, besides the fact that they wear the same number and they black. Jarvis said, TJ, my dog, what's going on, Jarvis? Kent says, with our O-line and playmakers, Winston will do just fine. Well, I think a lot of people are counting on the offensive line, to really do their job. I mean, we already sealed the deal when it comes to Ramchick. Still got Armstead, still got some unanswered questions with that, but you still got two young guys on the offensive line. And then you got Andrews Pete, man. So, I mean, you got Cesar Ruiz and Eric McCoy. I mean, you got some young players out there. So, I mean, these are some guys that can be protecting Jameis Winston for a very long time. Very, very long time. Lost my place. I'm gonna stroll back up a little bit. I apologize, folks. Let's go with Mario. Mario says, man, I have that same t-shirt. Only difference is TJ built like a high school running back. I'm built like a JV softball coach. Oh man, I still got some room for improvement when it comes to the gym, man. Like I'm definitely trying to get in shape too, man. Next month, me and my wife are finally going to take our honeymoon because when we got married August 9th of last year. COVID was at all-time high. So we did get married on the beach, but we did not have a honeymoon, man. So we're going to be honeymooning in Costa Rica, man. I'm excited about that. On the same wine. And, I still got to, tighten up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Get that beach body ready, you know what I'm saying? To hit that Puerto Rican, water, you know what I'm saying? Hit the San Juan beach. So I gotta get back into it, man. I can't be out there with I got to make sure I'm tight. You know what I'm saying? Got to be kind of be swole. You know what I'm saying? I hope we don't get away from letting Alvin make plays underneath, depending too much on Jameis' arm. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that this is going to happen. I think that you're going to see, believe it or not, I think you're going to see a much better version of Alvin because now these defenses, they're not going to play close to the line of scrimmage because now you got to respect Jameis Winston's arm. So now you got to spread it out. Now this is like opening up lanes for Alvin Kamara to run through. And Alvin Kamara, think about this. Alvin Kamara can fit through tight spaces and stuff like that, maneuver through tight spaces, break tackles or whatever. So what you think he's going to do when he have wide open lanes? He going to make more plays. So I think that to me, if he stays healthy, I think this can be Alvin Kamara's best year statistically. Because now you have a guy who can get this boy the ball. And you know what I'm saying, in space. Like a lot of the plays Alvin was making, he wasn't really in space. You know what I'm saying? Like guys were like coming down on him real quick. He'll break free. You know what I'm saying? Like break another tackle. So that's why we like him so much. That's why he's so exciting. What do you think about the NFC division? Get to the top of the leader in 2021. Not a Buccaneer, not a Falcon, and absolutely not a black kitty. Please give me a hell to the no, hell to the no. Look, I can't give you a hell to the no when it comes to like the division. I mean, look, just because it's you, Jeremiah, give you a hell to the no, but I don't think I agree with it. Hell no, to the no, hell to the no. Yeah, but look, this division is wide open, number one. And number two, do we really care about the division anymore? Like, seriously. Like, me personally, I don't care about the division. Because the division, to me, doesn't prove anything. Has not proved anything in the last 4 years. Now, it gets you an opportunity to go to the playoffs. It gives you a guaranteed playoff spot between spots 1 and 4, and that's cool. But the Saints have proven and shown that no matter what position they have been in, they still lose. I mean, am I wrong? Like any position, when they like in weren't they the 1 seed at 1 year, right? Loss. 2 seed, loss. 3 seed, loss. So what's the difference? What's the difference, man? What's the difference at this particular time that the New Orleans Saints have been in all 3 major seedings and have lost? So to me, I don't care about the division. I really don't. Like, I don't care about winning the division. I expect for them to aspire to win the division because that's one of Sean Payton's rules, right? You win a division and get your automatic playoff spot and try to win as many games you want to. And when it comes to seeding, and hopefully you get a first round bye or home field advantage game. But look, at the end of the day, the Saints have had all these things and still lost. So at this point, I don't care. I do not care about the division. I'm sorry. I can't. Like, I can't even brag or boast if the Saints win the division. Like, if the Saints end up winning the division for the 5th straight year, I'm not going to go on Twitter and badmouth Falcon and Panthers and Buccaneers fans, because at the end of the day, what is that really doing? What have they really accomplished? Like, if you don't win it all in the playoffs, I don't care about the division. I wish I did, but I don't. So, because the Saints, I love them, but at the end of the day, like, they have not given me any optimism when it comes to seeding at all, because they have shown me no matter what the position, no matter what the seeding, they still lose. No matter what the circumstance, whether they're at home, whether they're away, they're susceptible to losing. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Chris says, what up, Who Dat Nation? What up, TJ? I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here, my brother. Appreciate that. Mario Bronner, how you doing? That's from Nikayla. Kai says, do you feel that Marcus Williams will be the next man up to get the bag? Yes, I do. I think you're going to have a little bit of some negotiating to do when it comes to Lattimore. Damian says, I agree, TJ. I'm happy to have Taysom and Jameis on this roster. And I've been telling people don't sleep on Taysom, because I know that guy has a lot of motivation and he's very talented. He's very talented. Yeah, I agree. I ain't sleeping on nobody. And I'm not rooting against neither one of these guys. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, people just like, man, I'm not like, okay, look, I'm gonna be 100 with you. If this was probably like a couple of years ago, then I would be like really adamant about being right. Like, I would love just to be right, because I feel like that validated me somehow. But 2021 TJ, no, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable with whatever decision they make, because they know this team better than me. Like, we're just fans at the end of the day. We're passionate fans. And yes, there's times where we may say some things and the Saints may go in the same identical direction that we say they should go in. And, it does make us feel good, because it makes us, feel like we know what we're talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm not wishing ill feelings or anything like that on a guy because I want to be right. Like, I just, like, I feel like when you're doing stuff like that, like myself, I have to check myself. You got to check yourself too, because you should never have to validate yourself based on something like this. All right. Just like when I do this show, I just give my opinion, and I'm appreciative of everybody, that come through and, say they value my opinion. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make this show what it is. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sleep better. But it took some time for me to acknowledge the fact that I had an issue with it. And when I did, I felt a lot better and got better from it. But anybody, rather your team Taysom, or I hate when the people be doing this stuff for TV shows. I'm team such and such. But if you fall into whatever category, whatever quarterback you want to see as the number one starter, even if that quarterback doesn't be the number one starter, just root for the other guy's success. Because if this guy fails, keep in mind, how bad are you going to feel if the Saints aren't successful? There's really, how do you win a situation like that? That's the way I feel about it. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more. I apologize for people that I'm passing up, but I want to kind of keep a good flow going. Let's see. Dill says, I haven't caught with one of my I haven't caught one of your streams in a while. Yeah, Dill. It is, man. Look, I'm trying to come up with a designated time I can do this podcast that can be suitable for everybody. And I ask for y'all help. I know some people, they work during the day. Some people like, man, I ain't catch your show. Then some people at night, man, I ain't catch your show. So I'm gonna leave it up to you all, man. You can email me at State of Saints on Twitter, at State of Saints on Instagram, or the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page, and let me know what you feel like is a good time for the State of the Saints podcast to go live. All right, and because when the season starts, I would like to keep it on brand, especially since we're moving over to the to Amazing Media Labs, being a part of the Pigskin Podcast Network starting in August. So I want to be able to keep a time frame and stuff like that. So if y'all have a idea of what time y'all feel like the State of the Saints podcast you would like to see it, go ahead and email it to me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to take your feelings and thoughts into consideration before I make that final decision. Telegraph says, do the math. I bet no coach has faced Winston more than Coach Payton. If anybody knows his capabilities, is Payton. Who that? Yeah, that's a good point right there. You can tell he values him. I mean, if that wasn't the case, then they would have let him go in free agency. I just think that Sean Payton likes to be a fixer. You know, I think he's a guy that loves projects. I think he's a guy that, to me, I think Sean Payton wants to prove a lot of people wrong about they feel like the Saints are going to fall off a cliff because Drew isn't there. And a lot of people give a lot of credit to Drew, but they don't really give a lot of credit to Sean Payton. And Sean Payton, you know, I mean, look, just like anybody else in life, right? You know, we like different things. We like a little change up every now and then. Like we like to flip things around a little bit. Like we don't want to be stagnant, right? We like to take on new challenges. We like to challenge ourselves better. And we don't want to just stay in that same spot. Well, some of us do. But for the most part, some of us don't. And we like to change things up. So having a different, I don't call him project, but a different player that you can kind of help to, you know, change up and, you know what I'm saying, kind of alter his, you know, his career path. I think he's taking that as a challenge. And I think it probably put a little bit more pep in his step and more confidence in himself, you know? I mean, Sean Payton is like completely different from when he first came to New Orleans. You know, he's more of a upbeat guy. This is a man that understood that he had to change with the times. He had to change in order for him to be able to understand and relate to the young player. If he didn't, then you'll probably have problems like you know, Tom Coughlin had, you know, when he was with the Giants, right? And when he went back with the Jaguars, that's why you start having issues with guys like Jalen Ramsey and guys like Leonard Fournette, because, you know, Tom Coughlin is a, you know, 5 minutes. If you're 5 minutes early, then you're late. You know what I'm saying? If you're on time, you're late. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like, you know, you got to be 5 minutes early. If you're on time, you're late. He's like one of those guys, right? So you got to be able to adjust yourself in order for you to relate to these players. And that's the reason why these guys love playing for the Saints, you know? And I think it has a lot to do with Sean Payton. And that's the reason why I feel like Sean Payton is going to be able to relate to that of a Jameis Winston. 2019 TJ. I ain't as mature as current TJ. Look, I would say that the light started coming on around the time I had Paxton. You know, that's when I really started to get serious about a lot of things. You know, I mean, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when you realize that it's bigger than you, right? I mean, when you're going through life and you just living for yourself, sometimes you don't make the best decision. You know what I'm saying? Like you wake up the next morning, you know, you probably just charge it to the game or whatever. But when another human being, like life, you know, is on the line based on the decisions that you make, you know, like you have to change. You know, being a husband and being a father, you know, if you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like some people out there, you know what I'm saying? God bless you. I don't know how you do it, but if you want to be a good parent, a good mother, a good father, you know what I'm saying? You got to change some things about yourself. You know, you might have some very selfish tendencies that you have to change. And for me, I did, you know, and I had a level of arrogance about myself. But, you know, I mean, that didn't get me anywhere. It wasn't until like I started humbling myself and really started finding out the true meaning of passion. That's when things start to work out for me. So I hope this little message is a life lesson to somebody. You know, I see people all the time, you know, they do these different podcast shows. I see these people in the media. They feel like they got to be arrogant. They feel like they got to be full of themselves. They feel like, you know, you got to walk, talk, and act like they're important. No, man. I mean, you can still be as impactful, you know, being just as genuine. You know, I look at people like Steve Weiss, man, like people like that. Like Steve Weiss is like one of the most like humble individuals I've ever like came in contact with. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, like everybody knows who Steve Weiss is from the NFL Network. Everybody knows who he is. But I mean, just the fact that I can, you know, inbox him, you know what I'm saying? And he'll just respond back and, you know, give you advice and stuff like that. Like, those are the type of people I aspire to be, you know, in the world of media. Not like some of these other cats that feel like they got to walk like they're so important, talk like they're so important, see your phone call, but still don't want to answer it on the first 2 rings, like just so they can feel like you talking to somebody like on some King Tottenham stuff. Nah, that's not the way to go, man. Being humble is the way that you're going to get anything in this world. Now, you have to be aggressive, but you can be aggressively humble, and appreciate, the opportunities that people give you in the time. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Appreciate the time that people give you. You'll go a long way with that. So hopefully that advice can help somebody out. I'm for the best 11 on offense and defense. I trust Sean. Yeah, me too, Chemo. Chris says to grow TJ is an amazing thing. Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes in life. And that's one of the reasons why, since we talking about Jameis Winston, I just want people to not be so hard on the dude, man. Like, we all make mistakes. Like, we all done some crazy stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We've all done some really idiotic stuff that could have got us in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being 100% honest, man. How many of us would really like want somebody to put our life under a microscope like we do some of these other guys? How much stuff that you have done in your life that you have to apologize for? I mean, it'll just be real. Like, it's easy for us to sit back and analyze a guy, and we hold these people to a certain standard. However, if we look at our own life, like, shouldn't people hold us to a certain standard? And don't say, oh, no, I don't play football. Well, you're impacting in you impact somebody's life. And if you don't believe me, pass away tonight. I'm just being serious. Some people really don't know the impact that they have on people's lives. If you don't believe me, like I said, pass away tonight. Just because these guys throw a football, run a football, kick a football, dunk a basketball, hit a baseball, they're people just like you and me. They make mistakes just like you and me. The only difference is they're on a wider scale. Your mistakes, you probably put a little dust on it and nobody notice it. But these guys would be amplified. So some stuff you had to say I'm sorry to. Some people right now are probably dealing with some stuff right now that they have to, tell somebody I'm sorry. Rather, it was an argument that you had with your significant other, an event you didn't show up to, somebody you probably disappointed. So remember those moments when we start going out here trying to judge people, man. No, I just don't feel like that's fair. I mean, some people may agree with what I'm saying. I probably lost a couple people. Maybe it's getting a little bit too deep, but hey, man, that's what we talk about. We talk about real stuff on the State of the Saints podcast, as well as talking about football. Kenneth says they're going to share snaps regardless. I think it's going to be the same formula. Jameis Winston just plays the Drew Brees role. Taysom coming in, getting some snaps. The difference is Taysom Hill might be allowed to pass more, but it would be the same formula. Yeah, Kenneth, look, I don't know. Sean Payton just don't seem like he that type of guy. Now, I do agree with what you're saying when it comes to Taysom, doing that Swiss Army thing that he's been doing. I mean, look, it's effective. And teams have to scheme for it. So you want to keep that in the playbook. But I can't see Sean Payton just constantly like, okay, I got 25 plays for Taysom. I got 32 plays. Like, no, man. Like, I just feel like whoever it is going to be the main quarterback. And maybe they'll have some trick plays and stuff like that they come in. But whoever it is, you're going to be careful that you don't distract their rhythm, man. Like, when the guy's out there rolling, you know what I'm saying? He threw 4, 5, 6 completions. All of a sudden, okay, we're going to roll out Taysom so he can throw the ball down the field. No. Excuse me. No, man, I don't see that. So whoever it is, I just feel like whoever the starting quarterback is going to get the majority of snaps. And, Taysom, if he's a backup, he'll get his touches like he normally does. I don't think there's going to be an uptick in Taysom Hill's playbook and him hitting the field. I feel like it's going to be the same way it was with Drew, and Taysom just going to come in and play his role. Because you got to be careful with that. I mean, because if he constantly comes out there, Kenan, I mean, how effective is that scheme, okay? And you also got to think about it. If he's running 15, 20 different plays as the season goes on, it's not going to become as effective. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Because teams are going to have like so many different looks from that. So it's going to lose its luster. It's going to lose its impact because the team's going to know how to scheme for it. I'm just saying. So I don't see too much of an uptick. I see about the same amount of touches he would in the backfield, rather than RPO or throwing the ball downfield. Because you got to keep in mind, Kenneth, The reason why he was in for some of them deep passes was because of Drew Brees' lack of arm strength at that particular time and him dealing with some shoulder injuries in the 2020 season. So that's the reason why you've seen him throw the ball deep down the field as much. Now you have a guy that can throw the ball deep down the field. So in all honesty, why would you take Jameis off the field, who has a better arm strength than Taysom, and a better chance to get the ball deep to the receiver, to bring Taysom in? Like, I can see Taysom throwing the ball maybe in some plays, but I don't think it's going to be in the same light as it was with Drew, because you won't need to. I agree with you, TJ. We still rooting with the Who Dat Nation forever till we make to the top in 2021. I don't care what any sport media or any team says about our team. Like, that for real, for real. Yeah, me too, man. I don't really care. Now, I follow this team quite a bit. Been following this team my whole life. There's not much I don't know about the Saints. I ain't saying I know everything about them, but I mean, I've been following for a long time. I mean, New Orleans is my hometown. I've seen some of the greats talk about them. I've seen some of the heartbreaking times. I've seen some of the best times. So, of course, we're going to know more about the squad than the national media. I just wish that they would just actually give these guys some credit for being a good football team, but I don't know. I guess, they just continue to push like narratives of those teams that, of yesteryear, they used to be relevant, showing Vince Lombardi blowing frost on the sidelines. Like, that happened last year. Like, I get it, right? We love nostalgia. That's the reason why we make all these reboots of these movies and these cartoons we used to see as kids. I think I seen Clifford the Big Red Dog about to have a movie. I get it, right? We love nostalgia. But at the same time, man, there's nothing wrong with giving a team of today some credit, right? I fail to understand, like, why people say that. I don't feel like you should talk about a team that's good just so you can talk about another team that you feel like more people want to hear about. Like, I don't feel like you should talk about the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? Like make a topic about the Jaguars just because they played the Cowboys. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the Jaguars are doing something significant, talk about it. If the Browns are doing something significant, talk about it. The Bengals, talk about it. Like, it shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't have to, like, have 3, 4, 5 segments of the same topics of Dallas Cowboys and LeBron James. Like, I understand the Cowboys have a storied history, and I understand LeBron James is best basketball player of his generation, but man, I would like to hear about other guys too. And I've talked about this before. That's the reason why we have this issue in the NBA Finals right now. And people talking about, the numbers are down. The numbers are down because they're not doing their job. The media is supposed to inform people about why these guys are important. So I shouldn't have to learn about how good Devin Booker is by watching the playoffs. You should be applauding and raising this young kid up already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to, like, hope and pray that LeBron James make it to the finals so y'all can know everything about him. Like, no, man. Like, give people the information on some of these guys. And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, you got two uncharacteristic teams in the finals, because now it's making the media work. I feel like the media lazy. Some of them. I feel like some of the media is lazy. Like, they talk about the same topics and they don't shy away from them, but at the same time, they're creating that narrative. They're creating that narrative for us, right? You know what I'm saying? They keep on pushing these same narratives. Like, they're forcing us to believe that what they're saying is important, but something over here probably just as important. So if the ratings are down, people don't know that much about the players that's playing. I don't feel like that's on a everyday casual guy, because that's not how we work. I mean, am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, I'm just being real. Stroll down a little bit. Let's go to Sam. Sam says, got to get your best 11 on the field. Taysom is a 4-4 guy and can do a lot in that offense. I agree, but you don't want to wear him out to a point where people just know what he's going to do. If the Saints win the NFC South with Jameis, Sean Payton win Coach of the Year. Yeah, I believe that. We living in the sky. Who that? We've been at the bottom, now at the top. This applies to life as well. But don't look down. Heads up. Look forward. Reach high. I agree. Time's on my side. That's some good advice that you're giving to people. Dropping gems and also dropping knowledge about the team. Cody says nobody cares about Winston's pass. The dude is a goofy decision maker on the field year after year. Well, Cody, I mean, look, everybody you can say all these different things about him all you want to, but the fact of the matter is this: for you to say that the guy, can't change or he can't, become a better quarterback. Now I feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just not right. I just think that this is a completely different team that he's on. And how many times have we seen guys go to teams, get with the right coordinator, get with the right coach, and become better? I'm just being serious, man. Like, how many times have we saw this? We've seen this with Tannehill. Like, you seen it with Kaepernick when he was with Jim Harbaugh. Like you seen guys who got with the right coach and got better. I mean, look at Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen, he first got there, he struggled. Look at him now. You know what I'm saying? Got a new coordinator. Now he's straight. Look at Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like him, but when Kyle Shanahan was here, he was the league MVP. So sometimes guys get in better situations and they become better. And I don't see like why this guy got to be any different. Besides the fact, I don't know, man. Look, the dude won a Heisman Trophy. Dude a national champion. Dude was the first pick overall. I don't think you just stop learning how to play. I do feel like the situations that he was in was unbearable. You know what I'm saying? It was a tough decision to be in. When you have somebody that don't believe in you, don't buy into you, don't play into your strengths, don't try to see what you're good at, and then, build off the things that you're good at, I think you're going to fail. And then on top of that, like, you're the first pick overall too. So, of course, like, that's a lot of pressure to be under. Not trying to make excuses for him, but I'm just saying there are people that improve at a position every single year. It depends on the circumstances that they're in. So I'm not just going to, just completely dismiss the dude and say, oh, man, I mean, he ain't never going to be nothing. Like, nah, I can't do that. Josh says, TJ, you got like Solomon level wisdom sometime. Well, Josh, I appreciate that, but I'm nowhere near Solomon at all. I mean, he was smart enough to ask God for wisdom. Gigatis, but you told me you love me with the heart. I don't know what's going on there. I'm just gonna pass that up. I already read that one. Tyrese says, if the Saints win in NFC, I already read that one. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let's go with, no, I already read that one. Okay, this is why I love you, TJ. This is truly more than just a Saints podcast. This is really a family atmosphere. There's a lot to be learned here at the State of the Saints podcast, and that can apply to everyday life. Yeah, look, I try to do that, Chris. Try to make this show, intimate, man. Like, we can talk about Saints football, but like sometimes, there are, man, we live in a real world. We have real problems, and sometimes, we go to podcasts like this and other things to get our minds off it. But at the same time, if we've developed a friendship, a relationship, we should be able to chop it up on other things too if the opportunity presents itself. But I want to remind everybody that the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Go to Manscaped.com for all your male grooming needs. You use the promo code State of Saints. That's all one word, State of Saints. You will save 20% off of your purchase. Once again, Manscaped.com. And thanks once again for Manscaped.com for being an official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. I'm going to go ahead and stroll down a little bit. Dietrich says the Swiss Army knife was for what Drew couldn't do. That's a good point, But I'm not saying that you shouldn't use them no more at all. But there are going to be some things I feel like it would be a waste of time for them to do. Our best quarterback, I believe, we just drafted, but he won't be ready for a year or two. All we need is, whoever starts, is to keep up the positive pace Brees started. Look, I can't say that, man. Like, look, I think Ian Book, I really don't see what everybody else is seeing, for the exception of the fact that Ian Book is new. I'm just being real, man. It's always that way. Like, I just think that people see Jameis and they see, he be throwing interceptions. And then they look at Taysom, he fumbling the football. He ain't really no quarterback. So who's the next guy? And Like I feel like that's very. Man, I don't know, man. I'm not seeing what I'm not seeing what other people see in Ian Book. Yeah, is he a competitor? Yes. Is he tough? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But look, I seen this guy really needs some work for me to be sitting up here like lobbying for this guy to be the starting quarterback of the Saints. Like he really got to be putting in some work. To me, this is like somebody saying Gardner Minshew is the future of the Saints, or somebody saying something like, I don't know, Chad Henne is the future of the Saints or something. Like this guy to me is a career backup. When I see him, I see Chase Daniel. You know what I'm saying? I see a McCown brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't see this dude that everybody think gonna be tearing up the league and being the future of the franchise. Like I don't see that. Like I see this dude holding the clipboard, backing up, maybe come in during garbage time. You know, throw a football around. You know, I don't see him beating out neither one of these guys. You know, and I get it. Oh, you know the thing, he a winner. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, we can say the same thing about Jameis Winston, right? He a winner in college. You know what I'm saying? He was a first pick overall. So I'm not seeing what other people are seeing besides the fact that he's just a new kid on the block, and we don't know that much about him on a professional level. So it's always that way. You know, the guy the guy that's the mystery is always the guy that everybody clamors for. You know, a lot of people thought Garrett Grayson was the future. Was he? Nah. No, he was not. So some people even thought, man, we're gonna keep JT Barrett on. No. You know, it's always the guy who nobody ever sees play, always on the sideline, might have a jersey and a headset on. And when something go bad, man, they need to put him in, let him play. Nah, I ain't buying it, folks. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the last in that number. Hey, I'm new to the Saints podcast channel. Who's going to replace Drew now that he retired from football? Well, you know, a lot of people think it's going to be Jameis. I feel like it's going to be Jameis. Some other people think it's going to be Taysom Hill. We'll see. You know, we'll find out in the quarterback competition. We still going to be that team to watch no matter what anybody says. Well, we definitely are, because, I mean, the Saints got, you know, a lot of primetime games. So a lot of people are going to get opportunity to see Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill or the New Orleans Saints post Drew Brees up close and personal. Buck says, what up, TJ? I'm rooting for Jameis, not against us, though, but y'all got y'all future with him and Payton. Facts, go Bucks. I mean, look, that's the thing, man. Bucks fans, you would think like Bucks fans, like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, good riddance. Like, I get to see like a Bucks fan come on the State of Saints podcast and badmouth Jameis Winston. Like, I'm serious. Like, even though this dude plays for the rival team now, you still have people justifying like some of the mistakes that people have placed on his lap. So I don't see what the difference is. You know what I'm saying? Like people act like this man can't play at all or something. Like this man can't ball at all. Like it's amazing to me. Like how in the world anybody just thinks like this dude can't play football or something. You would think that this dude like just fell off a turnip truck and started throwing footballs around. Like this dude was a first pick overall, a Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, and no disrespect to the Buck fan that was here, but at the time, man, the Bucks wasn't very good. And you expect this guy just to come in and just become an overnight success. And, you know what I'm saying, to just win a bunch of games when you had a front office and coaches, you know what I'm saying, and everything was in turmoil when he got there. If a team is the first pick has the first pick overall, unless there's like some weird circumstance where they make the trade and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, like they trade with a team that end up trying to get a player and it don't work out for them and they lose a bunch of games and it become your pick, which is very rare. I mean, if you have the first pick overall, you're not very good. So there's that. TJ, do you think if Jameis played against the Bucks in the division round, we would have won? It's a good question. Yeah, I think they would have. I think they would have won. Honestly, I think if Taysom would have played in the game along with Drew, I think the Saints would have won. I think Taysom not being in the game probably was more. It probably was more hurtful and had a big of an impact than even Deontay Harris leaving the game. Like, because Taysom, I feel like he just adds an interesting dynamic. So, yeah. But if just to answer your question about Jameis, probably so. I think so. I think so. I think that the way that the Bucs played the Saints, they couldn't have played them where the guy had the arm strength and ability like Jameis had. So no, even if it probably would have been more of a high scoring game. But Drew Brees, like sets the tone, and it's more of a moderate pace. I think that you'll see more of explosive plays. You'll probably see guys, get behind some of those defensive backs more. So yeah, I think it would open up the offense a little bit more. Ian Book isn't going to be more than a career backup, a gadget guy. I don't even think he's going to be a gadget guy. I just think he's going to be a career backup. Can't compare to Drew Brees. He in a league of his own. Absolutely not. I'm not comparing nobody to Drew Brees because there's only one Drew Brees. And that's what Saints fans are going to set themselves up for disappointment, comparing everybody that comes through that door to Drew Brees. And you're wasting your time. Like, Drew did this. Drew would have did that. We need another. Like, no. I even see people, talking about Ian Book being a starting quarterback because Ian Book has like a little birthmark under his eye like Drew. Like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Like, I guarantee, man, look, some of y'all Louisiana folks, I understand. Some of y'all like, y'all feel like this whole reincarnation thing, y'all buy into the hoodoo, the voodoo that they do. But at the same time, like, dude is not Drew Brees, okay? I don't see it. Oh, he's 6 feet just like Drew. He got a birthmark. Like, man, I don't care what he got, okay? I want to win. Like, look, I ain't on that old, on some old intervention type stuff, some divine stuff. Like, do I feel like God is in our midst? Absolutely. But I don't think God has nothing to do with football, okay? I think we be like, please, God, man, God, like, man, I ain't got no time for this, man. Somebody over here really hurting. But so I don't buy into this whole, oh man, like comparing him, his size and the birthmark. Like, come on, man. CD next star of the Saints. I agree. He one of them. Yeah, Clay, maybe I don't understand how Aaron Rodgers couldn't do it. Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in the NFC title game. Yeah, but those 3 interceptions were like deep, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, there was kind of like almost like punts. So Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers still had to drive down the field. They still had to do that. Jameis is still young and our best bet for the future. Yeah, he's still young, man. Best bet for the future remains to be seen, but I think his future is bright. If he listens to Sean Payton and really takes it upon himself to, really go the extra mile, which from the looks of it, look like he's doing. I think we can beat the Packers in week 1. Yeah, I think so too. Should have beat them last year. I'm sure the Saints will get another cornerback in the near future. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will. They probably wait until training camp. That's normally when you start seeing guys like start to get signed because guys go down in training camp. And, when you have these veteran free agents, they try to wait because they feel like they're at the team's will if they go out here and try to sign, because teams like, oh, we have all our guys right now. Like, what do we need you for? But if a guy goes down, it's like, okay, now, you know what I'm saying? You want my services? Well, this is how much you got to pay me. So you're probably going to start seeing guys around training camp is when you're probably going to see, somebody that's familiar get signed. Taysom needs to get a grip for sure. His fumbling was out of control last year. Sean helped Tiki with that. Hopefully he'll help Hill. See, this is the thing, Sam. He's a quarterback. Quarterbacks aren't, that's not their game. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really they focus on ball security, but in a different way. They ain't talking about holding it high tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's different from a quarterback to a running back because he's a passer at the end of the day, not a runner like a Mark Ingram or AK or even Tiki Barber's case. I feel like if they fumble, oh man, they ain't gonna last long in the league. We keep dropping that ball. Yeah, it wasn't a knock on Jameis. I just think that the new quarterback knows winning, and if his talent grows in 2 years, he will be good. I actually like Jameis and Taysom. Well, look, can a guy win? Yeah. We seen him do it at Notre Dame. We seen him go to the college football playoff twice. Now, they were unsuccessful. But, I mean, for me to say, okay, he a winner, I can say the same thing about Jameis. Jameis is a winner if you want to look at it. You know, like, man, look at all his accolades and achievements he did in college. You know, and we can say, oh, man, well, look what he did in the NFL. Dude, not really that bad. Like, you look at his stats. Everybody just pays attention to the last time he was a starter with the 30 and 30. But the rest of his stats were, like, pretty formidable. Like, wasn't too bad. Like, I've seen worse stats besides that, you know what I'm saying, that eyesore that everybody just alludes to and just make it seem like this dude just played 1 year of football. I mean, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just reserving my judgment. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Even the so-called experts are rolling their eyes at Jameis, and they should know better. I wonder if you can put money on comeback player of the year. Probably can, man. Probably can. Pretty sure Vegas got a topic of, you know, they probably got an over-under for that. What if the Buccaneers call Jameis a traitor? He plays against his own team at Tampa Bay. Like, I remember that Spurs fans called Leonard a traitor while he's on the foul line. Well, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody has nothing against Jameis. You know, I mean, it's business. You know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did what was best for their team, and they paid dividends. I mean, they're the Super Bowl champions. I don't think any fan of the Buccaneers like should be bitter about Jameis. I mean, because at the end of the day, they won, right? So what's the point of booing a guy for? It's not like he left and became a star and, you know, all that kind of stuff already. And, you know, like even if he does, like, they have the star of all stars. They got arguably the greatest quarterback of all times. What in the world do they need to be jealous about or bitter or boo a guy about? I don't know. So that's just the way I look at it. Strolling down, folks. Thank you so much for being here. If you like the show, go ahead and hit that like button if you have not already. Let the Bucs fans boo at Jameis. Just let them. He's a pro NFL quarterback. He'll be just fine. I don't think they'll boo him. Heck, Bucs in 3 because the Bucs going to stomp the Suns so bad. They just going to give up in the game 4. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. The Suns are a really good basketball team. Then you have Giannis. I'm pretty sure he probably going to play, but he ain't going to be 100%. You know, I'm pretty sure he's going to try to give it a go in the NBA Finals. And Chris Middleton, in my opinion, man, too up and down for me. Too up and down. Okay, I'm happy for Drew Holiday, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Happy for him doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see him play. You know, all these years that he didn't put in that work. But I think the Suns probably going to end up winning that series. Chris Paul playing like a madman. Devin Booker out here beasting. They got Aiden out there, man. I mean, like Jay Crowder out there shooting them threes. He been certified. Like, man, the Suns are a good basketball team. And if you watch these guys in the bubble last year, like they weren't as good, right? They were like just in there. But you seen the seeds being planted for what is right now. Like when the way they was playing in that bubble. You seen this. Like if you watch these guys in that bubble last year, you're not surprised about what you're seeing. As a Buck fan, I'm hoping Jameis Winston has a great season. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like a lot of Bucks fans, I have yet to see a Buck fan like just ish all on Jameis. I have yet to see that. I was having a good day all because of all because of what, Nikhil? Let's see. Tyrone says TJ Gigatis, exactly that part right there. I don't know exactly what was said. Let's see. Gigatis, that true? I was just wondering about that when the NFL 2021 season started, and I forgot to put Buccaneers fans. My bad. Let me see what Gigatis said. Some people crave attention no matter bad or good. That's sad. I don't know exactly in what context that is. Seeing somebody may have had something to say. I've just ignored it. We ain't got no time for the negative energy, man, up in here. You know, some things I read, but some things I just won't. Dwight says, hey, TJ, preseason games are going to tell a lot. I don't agree with that. I've seen teams go undefeated in preseason, be defeated. Then you remember them Lions when they went 0-16? They were 4-0 in the preseason. That's why their fan base was so excited. You know, I mean, so it don't always tell the story, man. You know, I'm not saying the Saints are going to be bad, but preseason is preseason. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about preseason that much. You know, I don't think it's going to tell you what type of player a guy is going to be in the regular season. You know, I think that preseason is preseason. Guys just try to get out of there virtually unscathed. And now they have 3 preseason games. So, man, that's all guys really be caring about. These guys be going like half speed, except for the guys that, you know, that's on the bubble. They are booing Jameis because they know they are going to get handled by their former QB. I don't think they're gonna boo him. I'll be shocked if they boo him because it just does not make sense. It does not make sense, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like having that ex, you know what I'm saying? It's like passing your ex-girlfriend, you know, married, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, like you happy, you know what I'm saying, and life is beautiful. Like, what's the point of saying, that mother lover, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, what's the point of that? Like, you happy, you should be focused on that. Like, they got Tom Brady, they are the Super Bowl champions. What is the point of booing the guy that you decided to let go for a guy that's arguably the greatest quarterback of all time? Like, I don't, like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, it's to a point where I'm doing well, we hope that you do well, and just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? When you play us, I hope you don't play well, you know, but I wish you well. Yeah, I agree, TJ. Chris Paul has been one hungry. He wants that ring. Yeah, I agree. And I got so much respect for Chris Paul, the way, you know, Chris Paul has done it. I mean, he tried to buy a ring when he was with the Clippers, didn't work out. Tried to do it with the Lakers, and David Stern decided to renege that decision. So the fact that, you know, he did it the hard way, man. He did it through a young team that, you know, that they built up. You know, that's the way they did it. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I got a lot of respect for that. Just like I got a lot of respect for Giannis. Like, Giannis can go out here, whine and boo-hoo like you know, Anthony Davis did. I want to leave. Let me go somewhere else. I can't win here. Nah, you know, Giannis went out there, you know what I'm saying? He, you know, they built a team around him. And now, you know, he went, you know what I'm saying? He, like, when he started to become that superstar, he lost in the third round. Then he got a little bit further in the second round. Then finally he got to the final. So I feel I got a lot more respect for guys like that than guys that just sit on the sidelines and wait for their AAU buddies to get out the car and say, I want all these dudes right here. The rest of y'all can go ahead and leave and try to run the court. Like, nah. I got respect for guys that start out, build themselves up with one team, you know what I'm saying, allow that team to get some guys around them, and don't, you know what I'm saying, have these other nonsensical people all up in their ear talking about, man, you want to be in Los Angeles. That's where the movie stars at, which don't make no sense to me. If you're a multi-millionaire and you play for the Sacramento Kings, right? Sacramento is like the country part of California. I mean, you ain't nothing but like a helicopter ride, a plane ride to Los Angeles. Same way if you're in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? You think Zion, like, honestly, you think Zion couldn't get to Los Angeles from New Orleans in one night? You know what I'm saying? He can sleep on a plane. Like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. That guy's like, man, I want to be in this market right here. You can have a home in that market. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can fly to that market anytime you want to. That's the part that don't make no sense to me. And that's why I feel like it's the wackest, lamest cop out ever by them superstars, man. Ever. Like, what are we talking about? Like, oh, I want to stay in Los Angeles. Stay in Los Angeles. Like, seriously, man, if God blessed me to a point where, you know what I'm saying, I'm just, you know, I'm a millionaire for doing what I do, or well off, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't think I'm going to have a problem getting to Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? I can go there when I want. You know what I'm saying? Pending the circumstances and what I need to be done on that particular day. But I can't buy it. I can't buy it. Sam says, TJ, what are your expectations for Troutman this year? I think he's going to have a solid season. I don't think, you know, he's going to be on some George Kittle, Travis Kelce type stuff, but I think that he is going to be, he's going to give the Saints, some type of assistance at that position, man. I think he's going to have a solid season. Maybe 550, 600 yards, maybe maybe about 50 some odd catches, and I say about 6 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have a solid season, and I think it's gonna be a season where he can actually grow, where he can probably be that 800 tight end, because 800-yard tight end, because Jameis likes to throw the ball to the tight end. San Diego gave up on Drew and drafted Rivers. Almost the same situation with Jameis. We'll see. Saints won a bowl when they didn't do so well during the preseason that year. Facts. Yeah, I don't put too much stock into preseason. I don't. I care about the regular season, because look, these dudes don't even want to play preseason. How many times have we seen reports about these guys not wanting to do it? Dwight says, TJ, the Saints already know who's going to start at quarterback. We like to keep things secret. Remember, they knew Drew was going to retire a year before. Yeah, I think they do know, but we'll see. Aren't we supposed to have one game for preseason this year, not 3 games? Because they just took out 3 games for each NFL team for no reason. No, I think they're supposed to have 3 preseason games, if I'm not mistaken. TJ, do you think they will call the flag when bad hits like they do for Brees? Well, we'll see. I would think that they probably would, Tyrone, because Jameis Winston is not he's not as mobile as people think that he is. Okay, I think that they're kind of skeptical about throwing a flag when you got quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and people like Cam Newton, guys that are known for being scramblers. RPO is a part of their game, so they kind of lay on the whistle, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Keep the whistles down and keep the flags in their pocket when you have those type of quarterbacks. Okay, but somebody like Jameis to me is Jameis is a bit more athletic Byron Leftwich. That's who he reminds me of. Not the, Byron Leftwich, I don't feel like had the arm talent as Jameis had, but the way that Jameis maneuvers around in the pocket when he's on a run, and the way that he he stands in the pocket, he reminds me of a little bit more of an athletic Byron Leftwich. And that's not a bad thing, because Byron Leftwich, man, he was pretty good, but he just always was hurt. Real talk, TJ, the Bucs fans are cool and always have been. I ain't never had no problem with no Bucs fan. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no problem with them. And, look, they want the same thing that we want. You know what I'm saying? They want to win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I go on a little tangent or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? Because but at the same time, I don't know. I don't feel like a team has to be better when you're so successful like they've been. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. I'm gonna take a few more comments, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Start with John. It's talking about Gigatus. Okay, because this season was confusing me because I was looking at the preseason game schedule for the Seattle Seahawks. They only going to be playing just the Colts. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. Got to check that out. And everyone else is playing 3 preseason games, not 1. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe some COVID violations or something like that. I don't know what's going on. We are playing 3. Yeah. Josh said, TJ, what do you think is the worst between the worst parts of Chicago and the worst parts of New Orleans? What do I think is the worst between the worst parts of Chicago and the worst parts of New Orleans? Well, I lived in New Orleans growing up as a kid. I have not lived there, since Hurricane Katrina. So I really don't know how it was. How it is now. I don't want to speculate, about those things, but I'm gonna have to say, man, when I was growing up as a kid, New Orleans it was probably one of the worst, man. It was the murder capital, during the time I was in high school. Man, it was just dangerous. But you hear about Chicago and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm always skeptical about places I ain't never been, because when I talk to people about New Orleans and stuff like that, they ask me if I've ever been to Mardi Gras, and the only thing they think about Mardi Gras is that people have to pull down their tops in order for them to get bees. Like, they don't even understand, like, you go out there on the parades and the floats pass by and throw different cups and bees and stuff like that at you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like almost like you go to Texas. Everybody just think that you wear cowboy boots and 10-gallon hats. Like, everybody just do that and ride a horse and ride to school on horseback. So everybody got like these different stereotypes. So I mean, they say Chicago, South Side Chicago is tough. I never really been there. I've been to Chicago on 2 occasions. Got an opportunity to go to Chicago State coming out of high school for a college tour. And also I went when I was going to orientation, I went to Evanston, Illinois, when I was right next to a Northwestern University. So I never really just been out there like that. I never really experienced anything to a point where I can just say, oh, it's just terrible. Everything is just, to me, been told to me by the media. But I can speak from a standpoint, staying in New Orleans as a kid, that it was pretty tough during that time. So I don't know. Mine are lifted by all you guys. Ghostface, thank you for being here and being a supporter. I appreciate that. Let's see. Good night. I should talk to you. Bye. Be safe. Giving a shout out to D. Is Nikayla. Damien says right now, TJ, it's the East right now. Well, I've heard some things, man, but also heard one of my good homeboys. Shouts out to Brandon. Brandon said, I always go by what you hear. So that's the way I look at it. And I know, like, he from that area, he stay in that area. So that's the reason. I mean, I've heard that, Damien, but yeah, I didn't bring it up because I don't know how bad it is, Sean Payton is going to get Jameis on a Warren Moon level. Mark my words. Well, I hope they don't throw the ball as much as Warren Moon them threw the ball, because my goodness. Oh, man, you got a running back. I have to wear the colors I have on. Watch. Oh, thanks. This show is so much better than hold the mayo for real. Well, I'm not exactly sure what that is, Trent. Hold the mayo. I'll have to check that out. But I appreciate it, man. This is an interactive show, man. We try to be as interactive. We talk about, man, look, this show really, we may have a topic, but it always kind of just steers off into like different directions. And that's what I love about this show, I mean, I really honestly don't know what direction this show gonna go in. We might end up beginning the show talking about a situation like Jameis Winston. It might end the show talking about hot sausages on French or shrimp po' boys. Like that's just how we are here on the State of the Saints podcast. And that's one of the things I enjoy about it. It keeps me on my toes. I like the rapid fire questions, and I just like the interaction of each and every one of you. It makes this show worth doing all the time, I'm living in the city, TJ. I'm telling you, it's facts. Okay, Damien, I'm gonna take your word for it, But like I said, I mean, I haven't lived there since Katrina. I just know they had some tough spots there, and I mean, it was terrible. Like when it came to like murders and stuff like that, and just nonsensical murders, like all the time, man. It was just ridiculous. I can't wait to get the Saints jersey soon. Well, John, it's excited. It's always exciting to get a new jersey. I follow all them dudes' solo careers. Let's see who that TJ watch. We sweep Tampa again with Jameis. Well, look, long as they win the playoffs, I don't care if they sweep them or not. I just want to go to the playoffs, and I just want the Saints to get through the playoffs. Can we do that? Po' boys, I like the sound of that. Yeah, me too. Then Warren Moon saw the cheerleader. Maybe Winston is like Moon. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he saw the cheerleader or not. All I know is everybody ain't perfect. Everybody make mistakes. It is what it is. And I'm not going to hold a person's transgression, their shortcoming over their head, because I don't want nobody to do that for me. Like, how many of us would be here right now if people held the things that we did over our head? And you'll probably say, oh, man, well, I ain't never did nothing like that. Well, once again, if you're just joining us, and you probably heard me say this, so I might sound like a parakeet to you, but we all done something in our lifetime that requires us to say the words, I'm sorry. And some of us right now are trying to figure out how to say I'm sorry about a situation that we screwed up. So I'm not going to play this game. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, the world doesn't work like that. We want, we want everybody to, be quiet boys or be close to Jesus Christ. Like, we're not like that. So why are we expecting anybody else to be like that? Everybody making mistakes. I think if a person owns up to their mistakes, they repent for their mistakes, they learn from their mistakes. I don't feel like it's our job to like judge them for the rest of their life based on it, because I won't want nobody to do that to me. Let's see. John says, I want to see the Saints make Buccaneers get swooped in New Orleans. Yeah, I think a lot of people want that. All I wanted for these guys to win. That's it. That's all. I do not care. Like, I promise y'all, I don't care. As long as they make the playoffs and as long as they get deep into the playoffs, that's all I care about. I don't care about none of this stuff. Like, I promise you, like, it's just not the same, Who That Nation. I'm sorry, man. Like, going back and forth with Falcon fans, man, that's so played out and whack to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that it ain't fun, because it is. But I'm just saying, though, man, it's like pointless. It's like pointless at this point. All I care about is winning. That's it. The bottom line. I do not care, okay? I honestly, I don't care. Look, I don't care if I'm riding in the 1983 Pinto, okay? You know what I'm saying? With one of the wheels wobbly and one of the front wheels, you know what I'm saying? Probably the best wheel on the car, and it probably got smoke coming out the back, okay? The only thing I care about is this Pinto going to make it to my destination. Now, some of you I probably lost. I don't care what the record is, okay? I don't care if they, you know what I'm saying, like whooping tail and taking names, or, you know what I'm saying, they sputtering and whatever. But as long as they make it to the playoffs, it gives them opportunity to win the freaking games. That's all I care about. I don't care about division. I don't care about none of that stuff, because all these things they have proven have to be pointless in the end. It's true. 1 seed, lost. 2 seed, lost. 3 seed, lost. Home field, lost. Home game, lost. Beat a team twice in the regular season, played them in the third time, lost. That's the whole point of this situation. I do not care about no division no more. I'm sorry. I do not. Last one from King Arthur says, TJ, is amazing how people love to point out the one thing you did wrong when you corrected your pet. It makes people feel better about their own mediocrity when they tear down others who try. I just think that we get this, man, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say mob mentality, but individualism is a real thing. I just want people to understand it. I just feel like people bash individuals sometimes because they probably see 2 and 3 and 4 other people actually doing the same thing. So they like, well, you know what I'm saying? What's another comment by me? Who cares? I mean, over a collage of people saying the same exact thing. They love that individualism. This is what I'm saying, though. Sometimes when you're involved in individualism, and for those that may not know what individualism is, it's like you create almost like this, I guess you can say a mob mentality online, right? If you see like somebody doing something crazy and you see a bunch of comments, right? And they're talking about how ridiculous this situation is, it might get you, you know what I'm saying, motivate you to write something. So you like, man, all these other people saying this, so why not me? But think about this, though. When it comes to individualism, we never think about it from our own standpoint. Like, we don't think about this. Like, what if the person that everybody was bashing was our family member? Or, you know what I'm saying, like, or somebody that you really knew? Or hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's a situation you might be laughing and bashing somebody about, but a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, you probably was in some hot water too. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of us probably just got back off the couch from screwing up from our significant other. Like, some of us right now, you know what I'm saying, happy and have a little bit of back pain because finally our wife let us back in the room, right? Or, or you know what I'm saying, like we finally, you know what I'm saying, that person finally responded to our text message after a couple of days after we ticked them off. You know what I'm saying? There's always something in life, folks. I'm going to keep on saying this, that is going to require us to say the words, I'm sorry. There's an old saying, keep your words soft and sweet because sometimes you might have to eat them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a song, it was a gospel song, says sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. And that's true. Some of us, like we do things in the dark, probably haven't come to the light. So we feel like the light that we carrying around is bright enough to see other people's faults. What are you doing? What are we doing here, man? We better than that. Allow a God to resurrect and change the narrative. Did somebody help you change the narrative in your life? Did individuals, give you an opportunity to right the wrongs in your life? Now imagine how that would feel if they didn't allow you to do that. If you constantly had to keep on trying to prove to this person that you're worthy of their love, or worthy of their companionship, or worthy to invest in, and you're doing all the right things, and that person still says no. How would that make you feel? Give the guy an opportunity to right the wrongs of his career. Don't be so quick to try to destroy a guy. Because at the end of the day, if this guy come out here balling, the same people out here that's talking about this man, talking about, oh, he crab legs, he running with the crab legs, oh, he got interception. This man come out here balling. Some of y'all gonna act like y'all ain't say none of these things. But we got the receipts. But thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your time, man. Before you go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Let everybody know you enjoy the show because I enjoyed you. And make sure that you check out the State of the Saints podcast on social media at State of Saints on Instagram, at State of Saints on Twitter, and also on Facebook.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. And hopefully, if this is your first time checking out the podcast, we made a believer out of you. We made you a card carrying member of the Who Dat Nation, or, a fan of the State of the Saints podcast. If you're a fan of another team, go ahead and hit that subscription button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Love doing this show. Thank you all so much for making this show what it is. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks, man, to really be talking about some football, getting some guests back on the show. Talk to Nick Underhill and try to get him on the show pretty soon, as well as Ross Jackson, man. I was out of town. I was supposed to do an interview with Ross while I was out of town, but things just got kind of hectic. So want to get him back on the show. Want to get some more guests on the show that you probably never seen here on the State of the Saints podcast, as well as some other interviews, man. We're going to try to really get this thing on and popping. Really excited about the direction of the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate you all those that have been holding it down, representing the Who Dat Nation. You all take care. Have a good morning, night, evening, whenever you're checking out this podcast. Like always, all I got to say is, Who Dat?